Abby's in the comments. Hey, hey, hey. I was literally I was like, we're just discussing like who's going to be here. And I'm like, you're here. You're ready. You're ready to go. Ready to go. That sound is Zach logging into his computer because Zach is also going to be joining us. Hey, Georgia. Hope you're well. Hey, Pixie. Hey, Hannah. And then there's Lizzie. I'm so tired. But hey, it's the first Gothtober sprints. Woo-hoo.
I'm also very tired. It's been a day.
It has been a whole day. It's been a whole day. So for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Hannah, otherwise known as Leather M. I am. This is not what I sound like normally. I'm incredibly bunged up. I've got a really sore throat. So to answer your question, Georgia, I don't feel wonderful. But I'm here. I'm ready. I've got my chai. I'm good to go. Lizzie is my flatmate and is also of Bombadil's Bookish Things. Zach, our other housemate, is also joining us. There may also be a couple of other people that are joining us. I'm really happy to see everyone in the comments. Hello, Ali. Hope you're well. I've got a takeaway coming. I've got homemade cinnamon buns. And now, that is like the ultimate evening. That's fantastic. Hey, Georgie. Hey, Celine. And Amena. Hey, hey, hey. You're a trooper for still showing up. Honestly, it's the accountability for me. So I did not get a chance to film a TBR for my own readathon because I decided to like do other things. And then so we're all three of us, Zach, you'll meet in a bit, are in a panto. And we've been rehearsing all afternoon, learning to sing and dance. And I've been singing like this. Like, this is where my voice is at. Like, it's and like all the songs are really like happy and up. And I'm like, can't breathe.
I will just say Hannah did her very best. Like, we're very proud of her.
I did do my best.
You know, keeping on.
Yeah. I'm never well, but I'm hyped. I've got books, I've got coffee, and I've got Hannah. And Lizzie. You got Hannah and Lizzie.
Yeah.
So. Excuse me. So how tonight is going to work is essentially we might as well do yours first, Lizzie. Just because I think that way I won't double up on the prompts you've done. Like, I'll actively choose ones that you've not picked. So that we have very different TBRs. But I don't want you to feel like you have to do that. Okay. So we'll do your game first. Okay. And then you can either pick books whilst I'm selecting mine, or you can do what I'm going to do, which is essentially I'm going to put a poll for each prompt. I'm going to pick 3 books for each prompt that I land on. And then the people watching are going to choose my TBR. So is that dangerous? Yes. Is it going to be fun? Also, yes.
I might do a thing where if I can't find a book or I'm not 100% sure, I will ask and then let people check.
Ask the audience. Love that. So we're both in the chorus, but Lizzie is also the ghost. Because I don't know if you know this. There's a ghost in Cinderella.
I am the ghost. And I only think that's because during the audition for Cinderella, I threw myself into the part and literally at people. So I think that's why they want me to play the ghost, because I'm like...
You did like full-on rugby tackle Dave. Dave is a man who must be in his 60s, who's like 6'4", and Lizzie just straight up like just took him out, like scared the shit out of him. I do sound like that girl from Pitch Perfect. Every time I open my mouth, I feel like I must sound like my dad. Like, this is what my dad sounds like. Favoritism. Lol. Hey Blue, hope you're well. We've got Zach, you've still got your laptop attached to this.
Oh, that's awful. Oh, I hate that. Why would he do that?
I don't think he did it on purpose.
You're just not going to say anything. Zach.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be able to hear.
No, you've got your speaker still connected.
Your laptop
see
is still
many-
connected to the speaker.
I'm not getting any.
Okay, considering I'm
sound.
probably the only one that can talk, what's happened here is Zach's laptop is connected to an Alexa speaker downstairs. So, and Hannah is right underneath
Oh, wait, hang
the
on.
speaker.
I found the problem. Bear with me.
These are some real fun camera angles, I just want to say.
Can I hear things now?
Can you hear things now?
It's more. Can you hear me? Yeah, you can't hear me through this now. Oh, that was a relief. Do you know what's worse than hearing what I sound like? Is hearing how you hear that I sound like this. I hated that.
So what was I connected to?
The speaker.
Your laptop is connected to the Amazon speaker downstairs.
Oh. Whoops.
Whoopsie.
Whoopsie.
I
can't. I'm in half darkness.
You are.
I can't do anything like that.
That's fine. You can be all like mysterious.
I just need to make it
enjoy that.
even dark. I can make it even darker, and then when you have a film or you have a video game, and the big bad guy or the big boss man is just like a silhouette.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically me. I am the big boss man now.
Are you going for like the Inspector Gadget silhouette type thing, like the claw guy, or are you going for something a bit more modern?
Have you ever played XCOM Enemy Unknown?
No.
Well, there's a big shadowy commander guy. In fact, if I pull up a picture of him on here, I'll just flip the screen and I'll show you.
Also, yes, Ali did name a child after me. That's what this comment is about. I do also appreciate the phrase flesh spawn.
I do not appreciate that phrase. That sounds awful.
That was horrendous. We did our best. I'm really enjoying all your reactions to it, though. Is this the song in the panto? No, it's not. There's a couple of songs, and I tell you what, Georgia, just for you, I will send you some voice notes later, and maybe even some video of me doing the dance, because I nailed the dance. I learned the dance so quickly. I was so proud of myself. Did I learn the song? No, but I learned the dance, and that's what's important. As to the spooky vibes. Oh, I see. Okay.
That's
Okay.
the vibe I'm going for.
Nice.
It's not working, but that's what I'm going for. Oh, you can see the towel at the back of my chair. Maybe I should move that.
Maybe you should. At least it's just the towel and nothing else. Like, it could have been worse.
Sorry, whose chair is that?
Yeah.
I didn't say my. Did I say my chair?
Just the chair, I think you said, but.
I think I said.
Hey, Anne, hope you're well.
Should I be reading?
This is so true. And it's not a stream of mine unless there's, like, genuinely, I don't think any of these have ever, like, started correctly. Ever. That's not really my thing, so.
Starting
hey,
correctly.
Chloe, how are you?
Anyway.
Yeah, true. Hey, Ellen. That's so goth. Hey, Naomi, I hope you're well. I mean, he's the mysterious roommate. I've heard of him many times, but I've never seen him. He's like a mythical creature. You've obviously not watched last month's TBR video because Zach is literally in it.
I am, and I look much. I look much less beardy at that point. Still beardy though.
You were less beardy. That's true. You're shaving it all off though, aren't you? Next week.
I am. For my big trip away. My big mysterious journey.
Oh, Ali does games on Twitch. So Ali has played the game that you're referencing, and apparently no one is surprised. I'm surprised. I'm not surprised you played in general, but I'm surprised you played that game.
XCOM's great. I tried playing XCOM 2, but I had my ass handed to me time and again, and I just got a bit tired of it. I was just not very good. Am I allowed to say that on stream, or do I have to like censor my language or anything? I've
already said fuck at least once. You're
good.
Fine.
All right.
And I will say fuck again. So if anyone has got Flesh Spawn about, yeah, I will send it to you as well, Abby. Don't you worry. And then this is always like my favorite things when people get excited about other people in the comments. Okay, now that I reached the bottom of the comments, we're going to start playing the game for Lizzie. And then we'll play for me. So what I'll do is we'll tick through. Lizzie's going to choose their TBR. And then any time when they're not sure what to pick, then we will pass it over to the audience, as it were. Zach is not reading anything for Gothtober because in true Gothtober spirit, we don't expect him to. We just like the fact that he's rocked up.
I'm just happy to be here.
Just happy to be here. And then when I pick mine, I will get everyone else to have a little vote. So make sure that you've got your chat open and ready for that. Okay. So, Lizzie, where is your lair?
You know where. Like the castle.
The castle? Okay. You need to choose a head. Are you going to go Black Lagoon Monster, Mothman, or Headless?
Let's go headless.
Headless.
Bless you.
Thank you. Robot arm, tentacle, or werewolf claw?
Let's go for. Oh, I'm scared. Tentacle. But I'm scared. For that
I'm
one.
scared. Are you going to go webbed fingers, hook hand, or a ghostly arm?
A hook hand, please.
A hook hand. Are you going to go for a snake body, body innards, or bird feet?
Let's go for bird feet. Why not? Let's make it fucking weird.
See, I know what bird feet is, and I feel like you'll really like that prompt. Do you want horns, a twig headdress, or an angel eye mask? Which, can I just say, this graphic for the angel eye mask, I spent hours putting together, and as I did, creep myself out more and more as I put it together. Like, it upsets me to look at.
Considering that my creature doesn't have a head, I do think it'd be quite funny just to have just horns, just floating.
Just horns. Now, do you want a Kagune, bat wings, or a demon tail whip?
Bat wings, obviously.
Bat wings. That's hilarious. So you've got the standards, which is BIPOC, disability, LGBT, sentient house, head empty, just vibes, feed scroll, urban legend, Asian mythology, smut or spice, and then a fairy tale retelling.
Great. I'm really happy about smut or spice, as you can probably tell by my.
I couldn't work out which one. I was like, the moment you were like, ugh, I was like, well, there's one on there that you're not happy about.
Okay. That could be worse.
It could be worse.
Okay. Head empty, just vibes. What does that even mean?
So
Head empty vibes.
Yeah, basically. But it's any book. I'm just going to send this to you so you've got a copy of it. I'll put it in the house chat. Basically, I have taken that to be any book where you don't really have to think about it. So I've put one of the recommendations that I had for it was the excuse me, it was the Deadly Education series, because they're so info dumpy and they tell you everything. You don't actually have to think at all when you read them.
Okay.
So my thought is it's a book where it's just kind of like there's a vibe, but you could also do it where it's like Catherine House, where nothing really happens. It's just a vibe. It's totally up to you. Totally up to you. Zach being a scruffy boy is not offensive. There we go. I don't know where we said it would be offensive, but apparently it's not. We need someone who wants to be millionaire to play Ask the Audience. Yeah. This is a horrible TBR for Lizzie.
It's not terrible. There's at least 4 that I know books for.
Yeah. Tentacles isn't the monster romance. No, we thought that one would be too obvious, so we have hidden it under something else. I just noticed I have mod powers. Hannah has made me powerful. I have made you a mod, so you can kick people out. I don't, because everyone seems to be really nice, but you can. I interpret it as no plot, just vibes. So chose Night Circus. That's also fair. Yeah, that's kind of how I saw it. Was either
great power comes great responsibility.
What was you did one earlier when we were singing and you started making Yoda quotes?
Oh, I was just quoting this song that we were singing because they just have in the lyrics. So that was the least Yoda impression I've ever tried to do. But you get the general idea.
We got the gist. We got the gist. That's fine. Lucy has just texted me something really random. From BCP has just said, sorry, I've been rubbish, probably Linda. And I have no idea what that's in context to because I've not texted her in about a week.
Maybe it's about your script.
Maybe.
As in, who do you talk to about it?
Oh, no, I remembered. I know now. So for Just Vibes, I put Terry Pratchett because the vibes are fantastic. Correct. I finished Unseen Academicals yesterday, which means that I've officially finished the Rincewind series. So I get to move on to the Witch series next. I'm very excited about it. Spicy could be something that you're just really excited to read. That's true. It doesn't have to be smutty. It could just be that you're excited. Or because, like, we use the phrase spicy to be like, oh, that's mildly uncomfortable. So you could go for something, like, to that effect. Come on, you want to. Come say hi to everybody.
But I think if I've got that prompt, I should probably commit to it,
Maybe. I'm not a responsible human. The head empty just vibes. I went for Stuff Your Kindle books. Nice. I feel like Pumpkin Spice Cafe was a mood for it too. That's fair. Murderbot fits head empty just vibes. True. And there's a great series. Zach, I think you really like that series actually. We have Cat.
Sorry, what series?
The Murderbot series.
Ah.
Everyone say hi to my son. It's by Martha Wells. I will show you more about it later.
What sound am I making?
The sound.
Oh yeah, that was me. Yeah. Not doing it again.
always probably Linda. So Lizzie, you're gonna buddy read Morning Glory Milking Farm?
Ali, absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's no way.
What about the door one? What about the door?
What kind of title is this? What does this mean?
What does this mean? What does it mean? That's the question. Let me see if I can find it on Goodreads and I'll read the description for you.
All right. I can't wait for this.
It's going to upset you. I'm just going to warn you now. It is going to upset you.
Okay. Well, thank you for warning me.
You're welcome. Or the Misty Clippy.
No.
I think you should go for the door one, to be honest.
No. I know exactly what I'm going to read for it. It's the one smut book I can see on my shelf.
I love that I put Morning Glory in, and it's the first one that came up. Right, Zach, I'm going to send you a photo of the front cover. The description already is wild because it's a monster bait romance, is how it's described.
Okay.
Already incredible. It's by CM Nascosta. Violet is a typical down-on-her-luck millennial. Mid-20s, overeducated, and drowning in debt, on the verge of moving into her parents' basement, when a lifeline appears in the form of a very unconventional job in neighbouring Cambric Creek. She has no choice but to grab it with both hands. Morning Glory Milking Farm offers full-time hours, full benefits, and generous pay with no experience needed. There's only one catch. The clientele is grade A certified prime beef, with the manly, meaty endowments to match. Milking minotaurs isn't something Violet ever considered as a career option, but she's determined to turn the opportunity into a reversal of fortune. With a stern, deep-voiced client begins to specially request her for his milking sessions, maintaining her professionalism and keeping him out of her dreams is easier said than done.
Okay, right. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. I'm done. Thank you, though. I'm good. To be honest,
do you not want to hear the content warnings?
Huh?
Do you not want to hear the content warnings?
Sure.
Cock milking.
No, I don't want to.
Literally the first
one. All over my keyboard. Why is that?
Do you know what tickles me? It's like the first time I met Zach, I said something that was so out of pocket that I made him spit from laughter, and it makes me so happy that we can recreate that moment today. Cock milking, non-human anatomy, size difference, and a lot of fluid.
Zach, you've got a towel on the back of your chair.
I feel like that would be uncouth to just grab it and like try and towel a keyboard dry with it. Although to be honest, this is not working. So, that almost went to my candle. I really hope it didn't I didn't spit Coke in on under the keys. That would be ideal.
To be fair, if you did, I will compensate you and get it cleaned properly. Because I feel like that's the least you deserve after being traumatized. Lynn chose I picked M for Monsters for Head Empty Just Vibes. The cover gave that vibe. That's fair. Not gonna lie, I really want to know what's going. Me too. So there's another one that's called Unhinged, where this woman has a relationship with her door. Ali's also got one about a sentient pillow. Hey Brittany, I'm so sorry you came in at that. So what book is it, Lizzie, or is it a secret? Because no, so Lizzie hasn't picked yet. I think Lizzie's gonna go.
No, I know which one I'm going to read for it, but I will, once Hannah's playing their game, I will be picking out my TBR and I will show you.
Yeah. I'm so scared to read this, but it's for TikTok and it's for the views, not the media talents. Oh, what a wild description, right? Oh, incredible. Incredible. I love how he took a drink right before you said, like, the timing of it was perfect.
I have impeccable timing. It's a curse.
Cries in Theseus. That's my favorite comment so far. That's 10 out of 10 content right there. Cries in Theseus. A lot of fluid. Agreed. The reaction was priceless. One of the reviews was, the world's delightful. 20 ounces of bull semen? Not so much.
They didn't go far enough. 21 or bust.
Incredible. So, like, a couple of years ago, I did a video where I read Desperate Measures, and every time I cringed or laughed at something because it was like too much for me, I had to take a drink. And by the end of chapter 1, I was shit-faced. I'm so tempted to do the same for this book because I feel like I will get very drunk very quickly. I read Sasquatch Romance and there was so much. Why? In fact, don't tell me. I don't need to know why. I don't need to know. We're going to leave this here because my chest hurts. My chest hurts. Right. Okay. Let's start this bit again. Right, Lizzie. Okay.
I'm going
to choose your TBR.
Yeah, I'm going to turn my camera off and stuff, and then I will be back.
No worries. See you in a bit. In the meantime, I'm going to actively try and pick different prompts to the ones that Lizzie has picked. And then I'm going to help you guys, going to help me pick my TBR. So I'm going to go for swamp because that's actually the setting that I chose, because I thought if we're going creature feature, it has to be a swamp, right? Now, Lizzie went headless. So I've got Black Lagoon or Mothman. Zach, do you want to pick?
Yes. Mothman.
Mothman's a good shout. Thankfully, Lizzie took the bullet of tentacle for me. I think I'm going to go robot arm because I can't remember what that one is. And then I think I'm going to go... Actually, no, I'll let you choose. Webbed fingers or ghostly arm?
Not hook hand?
No, Lizzie went for hooked hands. So
in that case, ghostly arm, because it reminds me of a recurring trope in The Legend of Zelda, where every now and then there's just a little ghostly hand that comes out of a toilet.
Great.
It's happened multiple times.
Nice. I'm going body innards. Now, Lizzie went thorns, so you can choose twig headdress or angel eye mask.
Angel eye mask, because it's the most disturbing.
That's fair. And then I remember what these ones are, so I'm going to cheat and go for Kagune, because I knew it was humans are delicious. So I've got the standard BIPOC, disability, and LGBT rep, multiple settings, insects, empowerment, a book that haunts you, anything but prose, multiple POV, and humans are delicious, which I think is a really strong collection of choices. So I'm going to go, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start one by one, work our way through it. I can stop sharing that now, I think. There we go. Yeah. And then we'll kind of work it out, and I will have it up in a separate thing so you guys can pick for me. But let's see where we got to comments. I literally just heard Lizzie drop something. That's quite funny. Why so wet? Let's not. If no one picks Mothman, I'm going to write. We did. Zach is a real one. There you go. So someone just puts their key in the door trying to get in, and while you can't, it scares me every time. You don't live here. I do. I hate that. Yeah, agreed. That's really scary. I mean, admittedly, great for Gothtober vibes. Not ideal for living situations. No? Zach, you're the only other person here now, which means you are going to have to respond to me when I say shit.
I will respond. I will start paying attention now.
Good. I appreciate you. Thank you. So I'm going to
Yeah,
pick
you're welcome.
3 BIPOC books first. So you need to entertain people whilst I pick 3 books by BIPOC author.
Oh God, how am I supposed to do that? You're dropping me in it now.
Yeah.
So, how you guys doing? We good? We having a
Really?
good time? I don't know what to do. Just sit here and drink my coat that I spat everywhere.
Yes. Yes, you have. Well, you told me you were doing sprints at some point. Again, I'm hearing crashing. Are you okay? It's fine. I don't know that it is fine because again, I'm hearing crashing.
It didn't
Zach,
sound
why
fine.
don't you tell everyone in detail something you care about, whether it's gin, Lego, or something else?
Hannah, what do I care about?
I don't know.
Well,
I literally just gave you 2 options. I literally just said.
I'm going with gin because it's the safe one. So, hello everyone. My day job revolves around gin. So I work for a gin distillery based in Bicester called Skywave Gin, and yeah, I make gin basically. I usually have a lot more to say about that. Oh, Jesus Christ, this is not going well. I make gin, and I make very good gin. We have a couple of London dries. We have one that's quite citrusy. We have one that's a bit more floral. We have a very, very tasty raspberry and rhubarb gin, which is very, very popular. We have a spiced apple liqueur, which Hannah's very fond of.
It is my favourite.
Hannah has it with apple juice, like an absolute Neanderthal.
It's delicious. It tastes like apple pie because it's just a little bit of cinnamon and then it's just apple juice and apple. Like, why wouldn't you enjoy that? Oh, you have just reminded me that we have that apple and elderflower cordial in the fridge.
Do we? Oh, we do.
Mm-hmm. Guess what I'm having?
We're going to try some of it.
Yeah. Did you want some?
Yeah, I kind of do actually. Do I have to go downstairs and get it?
No, I can bring it up during the sprint. That's fine. Yeah, Lizzie is breaking the place. Please talk about video games. It gives me an excuse to talk about video games. Yeah, you were going to download something new, right?
I was. Well, it wasn't going to be new. I was going to download or re-download Lego Star Wars 3 because we've just been watching Clone Wars, and I now want to play Lego Star Wars 3 again. I was also going to re-download Star Wars Republic Commando. And for anyone who doesn't know, Republic Commando is you basically control a squad. It's a Star Wars FPS from like the early 2000s. You control a squad of elite clone troopers going around killing shit and just generally having a grand old time going on these like covert missions and stuff. It's pretty cool. But currently, what am I playing at the moment? I've just started replaying Wolfenstein New Order, which is pretty cool. I get to shoot a lot of Nazis in the 60s, which is right up my street. I'm also replaying Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword because it's nice and carefree, and it's a fun little experience. And
okay, you're good. You need to pace yourself because I've got like 10 other prompts that I need to work through.
Oh boy.
I have to go put the kiddos to bed, but amazing adaptation. Looking forward to seeing what you pick, Han. I will let you know, Naomi. Have you played Hollow Knight?
I have not. Hollow Knight is one of those games that I keep hearing stuff about. It's Hollow Knight and it's like Ori and the Blind Forest, like really sort of cutesy, like ethereal indie games. I don't know if they are indie games actually, but games of that nature. And I keep meaning to pick them up. I don't know if they're on Game Pass or anything, so I've got Game Pass for my PC. But I think when I eventually find some spare time, which is not easy, I will eventually get around to playing Hollow Knight.
Fair.
It looks fun. It looks fun. It looks nice. And I hear the music's excellent. So I will get there.
You will. Georgia has asked you what your mixer of choice is for gin. It's lemonade. He loves lemonade and gin. It's like his favorite thing.
Kind of shut the fuck up. For me, the only mixer is tonic because I'm an absolute snob.
Yeah.
But certain gins, if your gin isn't particularly complex or flavorful, then lemonade can be quite nice. Flavor tonic, like Fever Tree, has some quite nice Mediterranean tonics or elderflower tonics. But for me, if I'm drinking a gin for the first time, it's always going to be a really, really like neutral Indian tonic water. Lizzie's back.
I have returned. And I have
Sweet.
a book for every prompt. I'm really proud of myself.
Sweet. We will go through them in a sec because Zach has been doing his best to like entertain, but obviously he's a newbie at this. So
I'm very, very grateful for everyone who's commented trying to help me out. That's it.
Really. And also Ellen asked for the gin link. I have dropped it below.
Thank you.
I also have got 2 prompts that I would like help with.
Perfect. Okay, we'll go through that in a sec. So for fairy tale retelling, can we count things inspired by fairy tales? Yeah, because to me, a fairy tale retelling can be anything that is like just a slight homage to a fairy tale, to a strict retelling or verbatim kind of like retelling. So yeah, I will absolutely allow that. I mean, to be fair, I'm always really flexible with the prompts anyway. Emma is not here right now. You would know if Emma was here because they'd be all up in the comments, but they always stretch the prompts as much as possible. They're not even bothering with the prompts this year. They're just picking Gothic books. So
I will say my fairy tale retelling is very much a stretch. Because I realised that I was like, well, that's a great prompt. I was like, shit, I've basically read all of the ones that are based on there. So I found one that you might argue isn't, but I also think I have a strong enough case that it is.
Going on a tangent because I've seen a comment. I have played Breath of the Wild. I've only finished Breath of the Wild once. I've started it like 6 times because the beginning and the middle exploration bit I really like. I've just only been able to bring myself to finish the game on one occasion. I have got Tears for the Kingdom. I started playing Tears of the Kingdom. I got about 6 hours in, and it's just so big, and I have no time to dedicate to an adventure of that size.
Of that size.
It's an undertaking. It's a commitment. The same reason I haven't played Starfield for very long.
That's fair. Thoughts on gin and tonic and rosemary?
That very much depends on the gin you have. So there's a distillery, there's just a gin place in Stratford that make a very nice London Dry, and they use rosemary as one of their botanicals. So if you're using it as a botanical, if you balance it well with a few other kind of herbaceous flavors and a little bit of sweetness, it can be really, really tasty. And then if you use a sprig as a garnish, it can also work really, really well. But if you're just throwing rosemary into your gin like willy-nilly, then it's not going to work every time.
Never say willy-nilly again.
Do it. I love the phrase willy-nilly. It's one of my favorites. It's such a stupid, like, silly little phrase. And also, yes, that would count. Last time I played Zelda, I was playing... and getting angry because I couldn't figure out the beast and doing a small PhD. Yeah, that's fair. It's stressful.
It's stressful without doing a PhD on top of it. So.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, cool. Whilst Lizzie's going to talk us through a few of their prompts, I'm going to put my choices in the poll so that once Lizzie's done talking about their BIPOC pick, you can help me pick mine. So the 3 that I've gone for, I've got How We Fall Apart by Katie Zhao, which was gifted to me. I feel like it was gifted to me by either Abby or Celine, but the little label thing that I have that usually tells me who gifted me things isn't in it. So I'm going to need to check my spreadsheet. But this is, as far as I'm aware, a thriller because it compares like One of Us is Lying meets Crazy Rich Asians. So BIPOC thriller. I've also got an Indigenous horror with Don't Fear the Reaper, which is part 2 of the Stephen Graham Jones Lake Witch trilogy. And then I've got The Hacienda by Isabel Cañas, which is essentially a Mexican Gothic style, meant to be steamy Gothic romance. So classic horror, steamy romance, or thriller, all by BIPOC authors, all books that I would very much like to get to, but only one of them I've TBR'd before. So hopefully a fresh pick for my Gothtober. So I've dropped the poll into the chat for you. In the meantime, Lizzie, what have you chosen for BIPOC?
I've chosen Woman Eating by Claire Coda.
Interesting. I literally unhauled that to you like 2 days ago.
Yeah, but I was looking and I was like, I want something that like has still got spooky vibes in it, and I think this is vampires.
Yeah.
So I am wanting to read this. So, and it's mixed race, yeah, as far as I'm aware. So yeah,
that's fair. That's fair. Hannah loved the Hacienda. That's good to know. Thank you for great choices. So I actively didn't pick The Daughter of Dr. Moreau because I have to read that regardless. So it doesn't necessarily need to go on this TBR because we are reading it for Gothic Along. We love a poll. I love a poll. Since I've learned how to do polls, I've just got so excited. So I'm going to end it here with 14 votes. Don't Fear the Reaper got 43%. So for my
I have specifically opened this stream on my phone so I could vote for that one.
There we go. So Don't Fear the Reaper, like I said, it's the sequel. So I'm not going to go too much into what the first one was about. But if you haven't read My Heart is a Chainsaw, it's so good. It's so good. So I am really hyped. It is chunky. It's a chunky start.
Oh, don't get me started. Some of my books, it's a mistake.
It's a mistake. So what's your... I need to pick my LGBT picks next. So what did you pick for LGBT, Lizzie?
Okay, for LGBTQ+, I have got 2 choices. So I would like people's opinions. And when I say people's, I mean you two on screen. The general public too. So my first choice is Teapolo Blue by James Cahill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And my second one is Wolf Song by TJ Klune.
Ooh,
now I know Hannah is not going to choose Wolf Song by TJ Klune because TJ Klune is problematic. However, LGBTQ+, and this is also LGBTQ+. So it's on my TBR, so yeah.
Well, if Hannah's not going to pick Wolf Song, then I am.
Then I am. So that completely negates us choosing, so... I've put it in a poll for you whilst I go and pick something. Lizzie, if you could do slightly better alongside Zach, small talking, that'd be great.
Yeah, sure. So this one is really, really chunky, Wolf Song, but I also don't care if you guys pick it because, again, I do want to read it. And it looks very cute. And I enjoy TJ Klune. I don't enjoy how orange this book is, but
it's not a nice shade of orange.
However, Teapolo Blue is a dark academia, and this specifically is one of the prettiest books ever. Because I mean, Zach, you're not even looking.
Sorry.
Look at this.
I'm looking now.
And then the front cover looks like this.
That's a nice shade of purple.
So it's a very pretty book, and it's dark academia and quite heavy, I think.
So what does dark academia actually mean?
Oh God, you've asked me this question when Hannah's not here.
I'm right here. I'm right here.
So dark academia is like an academic setting with like dark shit happening, like murders and crap.
It's a gothic subgenre that is essentially cross between classic gothic and a thriller mystery. The setting usually is around academia, or there is an academic focus. So it doesn't necessarily have to be set at a university or school, but it might be that someone is very heavily obsessed with a particular subject and studying a particular subject. And the idea is that it usually has themes of elitism, kind of superiority and intelligence superiority. There's usually elements of occultism, certainly obsession and mental health. But it's a subgenre that kind of was fully formed in the 90s with books like Donna Tartt's Secret something, and kind of follows usually students kind of become obsessed with a particular subject.
So if Harry Potter, but everyone's a goth and like someone gets killed.
Harry Potter would not count because the dark part is the insidious part. So whilst there are mystery elements in those books, they are far more middle grade adventure books than they are dark academia. And also, Harry does not at any point become obsessed with a subject. He becomes obsessed with defeating this singular person. So it's not quite the same. If it was from Hermione's perspective or a Ravenclaw's perspective, yes. So Lizzie, I don't know if you've seen, but the poll has come out with 54% for Tea Apollo Blue.
Oh, interesting. That was not where I thought that was going, but okay.
No, I don't think so. I didn't think so either. Let's have a look at the comments and see what people had to say about it. So I really liked Women Eating. I hope you like it, Lizzie.
Cool.
You say strong, I think stupid, from Georgia to Abby. I don't remember the hacienda being that spicy. Oh, that's interesting because I've been told by people that it's like it has like that kind of thing. Apparently not spicy, just lovely and angsty. Fair. One of Wolfsong is Brittany's favorite book ever, or one of. I did not love Wolfsong, says Chloe. So who knows? I appreciate violently orange books. We do. Hey Tamer, hope you're well. Secret History, thank you both of you for saying that, which I just read, and wow, I haven't read it purely for the anti-Semitism. Like, I just don't think I need to. I know that it's essentially one of the cornerstones of the subgenre, but I like the subgenre when it doesn't have anti-Semitism in it. So yeah, a subgenre of Gothic focused on criticizing academic elitism while romanticizing learning, morally grey characters, and often murder. I love the fact that you articulated that so much better than I did. Oh, okay. Tamar's here, and Tamar's in pain. Sorry to hear it. Yeah, the actual definition, like a monarch. Love that. Okay, cool. So my 3 choices, and I will type them up in a sec, but I've gone for The Intoxicating Mr. Lavelle by Neil Blackmore, which is a historical fiction novel that follows 2 brothers who come in contact with Horace Lavelle, who was an aristocrat and prolific writer of his time. I don't know much more about it. I bought this ages ago, and I have forgotten the general synopsis of this, but I do know that's LGBT. We've then got a staple LGBT in Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson, which I haven't read yet, but do have the Shadow Cabinet, so probably should read at some point. Lizzie and I swapped some of our Illumicrate and Fairy Loot editions. So this was Lizzie's Fairy Loot edition, but is now mine, and it's very pretty. I need to read more of that. And then I've gone for like an easier LGBT, which is Fence Volume 5. And this is a really, really cute graphic novel about a bunch of boys at a boarding school learning to fence. And this is like Volume 5. Came out earlier this year, and I have been meaning to read it. Haven't read it yet, but I thought I would put at least one like easy choice in there for me. So let's start the poll again.
More polls. More polls. We love polls.
We love polls.
Polls, 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 polls.
Right. Whilst that is loading, let's see what else people have got to say. Yeah, I didn't love The Secret History because of that. I get enough of that in everyday life. What a mood. My book is downstairs whilst I'm upstairs. That's just poor planning, Tamar. I finished the book today already, so I'm good on that part. Nice. Yeah, almost made me DNF because of the racism. I will not be touching Goldfinch. I think that's fair. I think the thing is, there are certain genres where, like, I understand that there are certain books that were the cornerstone or the foundation for these genres. I don't need to read them.
That's fair.
I feel like I need to read the analysis on Secret History and why there were so many problematic issues, but they're supposed to be from a bad character. But still, this always really bothers me when it's a case of it's just attributed to a bad character. Because unless it actually serves the plot, which I don't know if it does, I don't know if it's actually necessary. We've had mixed responses on Wolfsong, and as none of us have read it, can't tell you, unfortunately. It's so embedded in the actual writing, though. Yeah, exactly. Give me a P. Fence is excellent. I love Fence. Here for the polls. Give me an O. I love that this is broken up by other people's comments. That really tickles me. I love Fence. I love having an easy read this month. Yeah, poor planning whilst limping. I had to make a choice. Oh, okay. Tea or book? It's going to be tea. You can always start a different book. Agreed. So, okay, again, with 54%, no one picked Mr. Lavelle. No one was interested in that one, which is really interesting. But my LGBT pick is HMRC. Is anyone surprised? I am going to put some treats down for the cats because they're now chasing each other. And I'm going to pick for my disability rep book. Lizzie, what have you got for your disability rep?
My disability rep, I have gone for something slightly easier for myself. Probably one of the easiest on this list, to be honest. I've gone for Like a Charm by Elle McNichol, who is a neurodivergent author. And this is their Witchy series, I believe. And it's middle grade. And I really enjoyed A Kind of Spark. My brain decided it didn't want to work with me there. So I'm really excited to read this Witchy book because it looks like it's going to be really cute. So
I love that you've done that because you have reminded me that I have Like a Curse, which is the second half.
Yeah.
So I'm adding that to the list.
So I just thought, give myself a middle grade, considering I'm the other books I've picked, so I'm like, it's not gonna happen. But this is quite a chunky middle grade, I will just say. That is a fair chunker.
Lizzie, they're just kids. You can't talk about them like that.
Excuse me. I can. It's over 300 pages. It's 313 pages. But yeah. Neurodivergent rep. So.
What's this?
I love it. I'm trying to balance it on my head.
Okay.
Like a cool person, you know?
You are very cool.
No, not gonna happen. Okay. But yeah. Also, I'm enjoying this background, Hannah. It looks very nice behind you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It matches everything else that I've done, so I felt like it was appropriate.
Yeah. It's cool.
Ooh, I know what I can go for. I can find it.
We're all waiting on bated breath to see what you're
I know, and I really need to do this quicker, realistically. Okay, so I've got 3. One I have technically started but haven't picked up in ages, a middle grade, and one that I have TBR before but just never got around to. And that one is The Whispering Dark. I'm pretty sure the main character in this is deaf, and I'm almost 100% certain that Kelly Andrews is also deaf, but this is a gothic romance that, again, was an Illuma Crate one, so has very pretty sprayed edge. But I know nothing else about it other than the fact that he looks brooding as fuck.
If I was to describe that man in one word, do you know what that word would be?
Edge?
It would be brooding.
Brooding.
Nowhere near as imaginative as you came up with.
No, that's fair. We've got Like a Curse, which, like I said, is the second half of the one that Lizzie's picked. So I won't go into that too much. And then the other one is The Coward, which was unhauled to me because Olivia had 2 copies of it and follows a kind of fictionalized memoir based on the author who was not born disabled, but ended up in a wheelchair and is not a nice person, is a very messy person. And I tried like the first 3 chapters of this because I was trying to clear loads of books from my shelves. And I thought, well, I'll give this 3 chapters. If I don't love it, I won't bother with it. And then I loved it. And I was like, I'm going to have to finish this now. So yeah, very, very different to the other 2. Let's add the poll. The Coward, Like a Curse, and Whispering Dark. I've tried to go for ones that are all like super different, so it's slightly more interesting. And also makes the poll slightly more difficult. All right, where do we get to? Abby missed the last poll because they were doing the dishes, but it's fine because they got the choice they wanted. It's a really pretty edition. It's a really, really pretty edition. Also a win. My mum loved the Dutch edition of Kind of Sparks. I actually read that. I love that. I love that. Considering how terrible my mum's English is, very kind. Yeah. I need to go through my Goodreads and actually figure out which of my books has disability rep. Georgia, if you need me to do that at any point, let me know, because there's quite a few that I know off the top of my head, and it's quite easy to find out otherwise. Why do we have neck angles?
It's because I've got my PC in front of me. My PC doesn't have a webcam, so my webcam is currently my little Microsoft Surface Go tablet laptop thing, and I have nowhere to put it other than either down here where you get the nice
up angle,
up shot, or or the alternative is I put it on top of my PC where you get a better shot, but my PC.
We can also see the state of your bedroom.
Messy-ass room. The messy ass room.
That's fine, because I don't care about that. That's someone else's issue. I don't know who that someone else is, but if I put it on,
no one cares.
PC, because my PC is liquid cooled, there are some air bubbles in the pipes, so it just makes a constant, like, bubbling sound, gurgling sound. Thank you. And I don't think that'll be very nice for anyone.
That's fair. And we've got the bogey view.
All right. Well, in that case,
you can't see it. Like, Georgia is just messing with you. They are just messing with you. Thank you, Georgia. That's hilarious.
No, it's dyspraxia.
It's dyspraxia. Yeah, it's neurodivergence as opposed to just autism.
I lost a CD.
Yeah, The Whispering Dark. So I'm pretty sure it's own voices. I know for a fact. Well, I don't know for a fact. I'm pretty sure that Kelly Andrews is deaf, and I'm pretty sure the main character is deaf. I'm voting the thought of not about it yet. Ooh, good idea. Although, to be fair, the last book that George and I buddy read was the 5th season, and it traumatized both of us. I love that we both immediately were like, we're going to do the Obelisk game next, though. Catering to the vampire gaze.
I don't know what that means, but yes.
So when people talk about the female gaze of like things that pander to feminine interests, but instead of it being femmes, it's vampires. In fact, you're flashing your throat. Like Lizzie and I are like straight on, right? So you can see our throats, but we're not like,
All I want in this life is for someone to tear up my fucking jugular.
So Lizzie and I did say earlier on that the longer Zach is on the live, the more out of pocket the shit is that he's going to say. Because you're not used to streaming. That's
very true.
You just like to entertain, so.
I literally live to make other people feel things. I don't know what they're feeling, but,
they can feel something. Annoyance, irritation, confusion.
Anger, sadness.
Nausea.
Confusion.
Brittany has said, I'll have to read The Coward now. I have healed the part of myself that was ableist, resentful about my disability, but I am bitter about being in constant pain. So I love characters like that. Well, what I thought was really interesting is, so Olivia recommended this. Olivia's sister is in a wheelchair, and both of them said that what they liked was the fact that this is a messy character. And I think sometimes people, whether they are BIPOC, LGBT, or disabled, are put as a monolith. They're put as a kind of, you have to be other and better because of that. And actually having messy characters is just as good rep. And so long as it's well written and well explored, really important. So yeah, I think that's a really good shout. I will read this eventually regardless of what's picked. I haven't looked. I keep hiding it so I don't have to look at it. Gurgle. George is laughing at you.
Oh, I do.
There we go. Lost their hearing at 4 years old. Neurodivergent is a broad term, so I was just curious about the specifics. That's fair. I love some deranged people. So true. Love that. Sweet. Okay, so the choice was Whispering Dark at 50%. A nice even mix between the other two, but Whispering Dark came out top. So Georgia, does that mean we're going to buddy read it? That's the question. Do you want to buddy read it with me? I'm going to have a look and see how many chapters it is. Without spoiling it for myself, preferably. Oh, okay. There's like quite a few chapters, but they're like, some of them are like a page long. There's 57 chapters and 380 or so pages. So could be like 2 or 3 chapters a day. If you wanted to do that, let me know. I'm assuming that's what the absolutely is too. That's cool. Okay, cool. So my next one is multiple settings. What's your next one, Lizzie?
Sentient House.
Did you have a pick that you knew immediately you wanted to pick for that one?
Yeah. The Book of Accidents.
That was a Waypoint one, right? That was one of yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. By Chuck Wendig. I don't actually know if this is Sentient House, but I feel like this book looks like it should be because of the reflection on the red water. And I feel like it's going to be close enough. And I'm really excited to read this one. And it's been literally on my shelf since last year. And I haven't picked it up because mostly look how big this book is. Zach, you're not looking. You're not very good at this. You need to react to what we're doing.
I didn't realize Hannah had gone.
Yeah.
I got really caught up looking at Portal 2 mods.
Okay, but you can do that like when we're sprinting.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you should be. But look how big this book is.
That's a big book. That is a big book.
And it's going to be a spooky book. But it's 525 pages. But if it isn't Sentient House, I'm going to be really upset because I'm pretty sure it should be. But
yeah, that's a lot of pages, you know.
The book?
I have literally nothing constructive to say. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're just too tired, huh?
I'm just tired.
You're doing great, sweetie. Keep going.
Keep going.
Thank you.
That's okay. Do you have any idea what you're going to pick, Hannah, for yours?
I've got a couple that I'm considering. I'm just trying to find a third one. Unless you've got a suggestion.
No.
Okay, helpful. Thank you.
Oh, I know. So helpful, huh? I have nothing more to say.
I just need a third one. I've got two.
Multiple settings.
Yeah. Oh, I've got one. I don't know if it is, but two of them were going to be for I had a vlog idea. I'm abandoning the vlog idea if I read one of these.
Nice.
So I've gone for two boat ones. My thought being that they must have multiple settings. They're going somewhere. Do you know what I mean? So we have A Fatal Crossing by Tom Hindle, which is a murder mystery series set on a cruise liner. But obviously it will have different settings within the cruise liner, like different areas and stuff. But also it will have where they're sailing from and to. Equally, I have The Night Ship by Jess Kidd. Again, I'm guessing that there's multiple settings because it's a ship and thus traveling. And it's an excuse to show you how pretty that front cover is. And it's an excuse to tell you that I'm really hoping I like this because Jess Kidd was one of my first ever lecturers in creative writing. And then the last one I've got, I'm like, it must have multiple settings because it's got multiple authors, which is the Ian These Hallowed Halls Dark Academia Anthology, which is not technically on my TBR. So if I do read this, I actually have to read and unhaul a TBR vet first to get to it. So technically, if I pick this one, which I'm assuming most people will, I have to read another book as well.
Isn't that making things needlessly difficult for yourself?
Oh, hey, Zach. Nice to meet you.
Wow.
I do. I do like to make things more difficult than they need to be. I have a habit of doing that. I mean, the fact that I have a monthly TBR game that I do, I do just make things more difficult for myself every month. Because otherwise, where's the challenge, you know? What is Zach reading? Zach is not reading. Zach is going to be playing games.
Yeah, hang on a second.
I was going to say, you are currently reading something, though.
I'm reading.
What are you currently reading, Zach?
Well, the one I would like to talk about first is what was it called again?
Our
Violent
Violent
Ends?
Ends.
Our Violent Ends. Thank you. I read Our Violent Delights like a couple of months ago and thoroughly enjoyed it. So I thought I'd pick up the sequel. Haven't gotten very far into it, but I am going away for a couple of weeks. In a couple of weeks, and I will take it with me and have a read then because it seems very good. It seems very interesting. What I'm also reading is the Beast Quest series because I read them a lot as a
Which
very young.
is that entire box set?
Ah, yes, right next to a special edition bottle of Skywave gin. It's called Plugging.
It's called promotion, but sure, call it plugging.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Plug, promote.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had nothing clever to say.
Mm-hmm. You'll be in the middle of some book. Zach is the embodiment of head empty, just vibes.
There are physically, there is nothing going on behind these eyes.
No, nothing. I'm always in the middle of reading the Bible. I always forget that you're religious, Tamar. It always takes me by surprise. I don't know why it does. You've told me so many times, and it always surprises me. Does Zach ever have anything constructive to say? Usually, okay. I would like to point out that earlier, Zach and I were having a really poignant conversation about ignorance, and Zach articulated himself beautifully, and then decided to say, "I'm not going to say anything else because I've peaked."
Oh yeah, you know, you can't have too much of a good thing. So
exactly. Paradise Lost for multiple settings was a good shout. I'm choosing multiple settings in hindsight. For multiple settings, I picked the Historian because I'm guessing the odds are high. It's for content, Zach. I hope you read the boat books because I need more Rex. So the plan was originally, I have these two, and then there was another. I was going to read the A Million to One, which is a heist set on the Titanic. I was going to read these like as a vlog. I don't know if I'm still going to do that because I haven't looked at what the polls come out with. But if you haven't picked these two, that vlog will come eventually. I just haven't got that yet. It's called, deceased. Just Vibes. That I had also forgotten. You've told me these things. I'm such a bad friend. I'm so sorry. I like making jokes about me being religious. That's fair. Okay, let's have a look and see. You've gone for the night ship. These Hello Tools came very close, but it is the night ship. Interesting. Okay. Night ship it is. My next prompt is insects, and I've already got two that I know off the top of my head that I'm going to pick. What was your next prompt, Lizzie?
My next prompt was head empty, just vibes.
Nice.
Talking about,
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Head empty, just vibes. The book that Lizzie's going to read next or pick next.
So
is this the one where you need suggestions?
No. No. I have picked The Nature of Witches.
Interesting.
Now, I know you all might be going, it does have plot or whatever, and that's not what it is. But I've heard so many mixed things about this, and I've heard that not a lot actually happens. And I feel like it's another witchy book. It's autumn time, and it's about time I fucking read this, because I bought this when it was still a first edition because I wanted this cover. It's cool been out a long ass time, and I still haven't picked it up because I've heard so many like not negative things, but just like people weren't as enamored with it as they were when it first came out. So that's why I've picked it, and I feel like I don't know. She looks like she's vibing. I don't know.
That is a vibe.
Yeah.
The hair and stuff.
That's what I mean. And it's really like windy, and it's nature magic, and
the wind is a vibe.
I just really want to read witchy books this year, so I am doing it, and people can leave me alone.
I don't think anyone is going to be mad at you for doing that. Like, you're saying that like it's going to be an issue. I know.
I know it's not an issue, but you know, my brain is having a time.
Oh, perfect. So I've got 2 books that have got butterflies on.
Lovely.
I'm very excited. All very different again. So I've got Lake Law by Anna Marie McLemore, which is an LGBT novel. I don't know much about this one. I just know that I really, really enjoyed Mirror Season by them. But it's got butterflies. These are butterflies all over their faces. So really excited for that one. I've also got The Monarchs, which is the second in the Ravens duology, which also has butterflies on the front. Another witchy one. This is the one that is the sequel to one of the ones that I recommended, because in the first book, I read the first book whilst I was driving back from Bristol in the dark, where there was like thick fog, and I straight up thought I was going to die. So I'm really interested to see if the vibes are still immaculate in the sequel, because it scared the shit out of me, or whether it was just because I read it in such a stressful time, you know? So I've got that one. And then the other one is the one that I've added to make my life nice and easy, which is Firefly Brand New Verse, which I don't know if this is a standalone or just a new series, but essentially it follows Zoe and Wash's daughter and her story. But obviously Firefly's an insect. So
I've just seen Michelle's comment, and I'm just gonna warn you now. Get ready to be traumatized.
mm-hmm.
Abby, I've told you about this book. This book made me cry. It was in my vlog that was books that made me cry. So yeah, The Bees is incredible. One of the best books I read last year. Yeah, last year.
Well, it wasn't this year. You've not read much this year, to be fair.
No, but thank you for that. Thanks for just exposing.
No, I meant more just like that you've struggled. Like it's been difficult. I'm always here for Witchy's books. I saw Family Law at the bookstore, but it was ridiculously expensive. That's a shame because it's so good. I've not gone up high enough, so let's keep going. The Night Ship looks pretty. Yeah, it looks really. Witchy books are always head empty, just vibes for me. Mine is also head empty. I feared in the insects prompt. I was going to Ghost Coming, middle grade about Ghost Homecoming. That's cute. And as also rated Cat, it's vibes for me. It works. They've heard good things. There you go. Yeah, so The Bees is a book that I recommended to Lizzie, saying this is going to make you cry. And did you think it was going to make you cry, Lizzie?
No, but I should have known, and I should have known better.
Should have trusted me.
And I can't look at bees the same way ever again. Like, ever
again. So The Bees essentially follows this main character who is like Flora 167, something like that, who goes through like a mutation and could be removed and then does something she shouldn't do. And it kind of follows like how the bee society works. It's quite dystopic and it's just really sad and really beautiful and really fucking good.
But it actually happens. Like that, it's actually like a lot of what is written in that book is actually how bee society works, and like that blows my mind. And I sound like a crazy person because we're talking about bee society now, but like genuinely,
yeah, agreed. I wanted to consider some booksellers, but it was €23. To be fair, books have gone up in price. Loads of paperbacks that used to be $7 or $8.99 are now $9.99 and $10.99 because paper is so expensive. I don't know why Family Law is so expensive. I'm surprised the paperback is out already because the hardback only came out a month and a half ago. So I'm surprised the paperback's out already. For in the UK, it's not out until January at least. The main character is a bee. Agreed. Yeah, examination of hive dynamics. I got insects. I'm reading The Cloister since there's butterflies on the cover. Yeah. Loads of books have butterflies on at the moment. I'm really here for it. Good to know the Ravens had a creep factor. I've got it on my TBRs. I really enjoyed it. It is mysterious. I do think part of it was the fog though, so I'm interested to see. I didn't realise the main character was a bee. Emphasize that bit.
I did.
It's amazing so far. I could totally see it making me cry too. It's so good. I assume you're talking about Family Law. Family Law is fantastic. Why is it so pricey? For looking at bees. So yeah, no, the bees are great. The bees are great.
Good way. Very good way.
Yeah, I'm not subtle. I am not subtle. When it comes to me being right, I am not subtle. And I've got 2 people here who will confirm that I am not subtle. Ever.
Subtlety and Hannah are not
synonymous.
That's the one. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's the paperback Family Law. Clearly, you didn't emphasize it enough.
Well,
I need the big book. I tell you what, Abby. Considering you've just bought books, I will start a new list for you. I'm getting that really fun little Wi-Fi signal coming up, so I imagine I'm going to start glitching soon, and I can only apologise. The time for relatively subtle. You do need the B-book. You do need the B-book. Okay, let's see where you went. Oh, you guys went for the Monarchs. Nice. 62%. That's a strong choice. That's a strong choice. So you guys are just refusing to add any graphic novels to my TBR, but that's fine. That's fine. We've got the Monarchs. I've almost exclusively got hardbacks at the moment, which is fun. Okay. After that, I've got Empowerment, which would be nice and easy. Lizzie, what is your next prompt?
So I had Feed Scroll, and I already knew that this was going to fuck me over. And I was right, because... the first book that came up on my Feed Scroll...
Oh my god, my
fucking Bloomsbury Publishing and their fucking Dare Falling Light.
What does this mean?
Biggest
look at the size of it.
It's huge.
Look at the size of it.
I can recognize a big book when I see it, and that, Lizzie, that is it.
It is almost right. 862 fucking pages, right? And I'm excited because I really liked Priory of the Orange Tree. I gave it 4 stars. I do feel like the ending was slightly anticlimactic, which is why it got 4 stars and not 5. But I liked the LGBTQ relationships in it and dragons.
Dragons. I like dragons.
So I'm really excited to dive back into this world. And I know it's set like a long time before the Priory, and I know that this is obviously a prequel, but I am very excited to jump back in, and I really hope that there are some more very cool characters. But it is huge, and I have not been reading, so I genuinely don't know how I'm going to get through this, to be honest. But hey, it's what happens, and I knew something like this would happen, but this might be the one that fucks me over the most.
Incredible. Or you might just devour it in a weekend.
Yeah, who knows? That could also happen.
I'm just typing mine up, and then I'll come back to it in a sec.
Also, I would just say, I don't know what it is with this TBR and orange. Oh no, this is an orange book. I thought this was orange. I convinced myself that this was orange, and I've never been more disappointed for something to happen in my life.
No, the first one, the hardcover was orange. Let's where we get to. I appreciate the second list. We want you to finish a series. Are we sprinting later? I'm off for dinner soon. Yeah. So essentially, once we're done picking my TBR, we are actually going to read. I'm also going to make dinner, but we are going to be reading for a while.
And I'm going to shower
because it's the first sprint. So we've got to actually sprint at some point. We're just taking a good sweet time with this. I tried to. Thank you. I'm going to add another one to the next one. So vote for me. I voted for both graphic novels I've tried. I appreciate both of you. Thank you.
I haven't. I have not. Purely because I've seen my TBR, and if I've got to suffer, I'd like Hannah to also suffer with me.
That's fair.
Because also, if we all both have really big books, we can keep each other accountable. Is the theory.
That's the theory. Georgia's in the middle of Priory at the moment and severely underestimated how long it would take to read.
Well, I'm tempted to download the audiobook for A Day of Fallen Night, and I can be doing that while I like play on the Switch and stuff, because that's... And like when I'm at work.
Yeah.
because that's how I'm reading at the moment, is primarily audiobooks. So
Yeah.
I may, just to give myself a little bit of a leeway, is give myself an audiobook for A Day of Fallen Night. Because I have enough Audible credits, for God's sake. I don't know how I've managed to keep that. I've got 5.
Yeah. I really hope you enjoy Legends Lattes. It's really cute. And having read the second one, I think everyone's going to really like that too. That is a chunker. That is a John Wick killer of a book. I was super disappointed by Priory, but the cover is beautiful. Interesting. I didn't love Priory at all. I know that's going to really upset Abby, who loved Priory. It just wasn't for me, but I can absolutely see why it got the hype that it did. Written in Bone. Interesting. That's a really interesting one. I got Fake Dating, and I can't think of a spooky book, so I'm going with the Fiancé Fast because I can never read too many sapphic romances. Agreed. Right, see you in a bit, Georgia. Have fun. You can do reading sprints IRL. We can. I finally returned to New York. Yeah, I'm not gonna annoy you. You are dead to me. That's because I don't like Priory. I was like, I knew that was coming. Okay, so the 3 that I've got for empowerment, I have the second half of a duology that I started a year ago. So we've got Empress Crowned in Red. This is a BIPOC, witchy high fantasy. It's also fucking enormous.
That is big.
Like, that's
the big book.
Is that the sequel to oh god, what's it called?
Which is Steeped in Gold.
Yeah.
Which is, yeah. It's 753 pages. Excuse me. So that's, yeah, big time. Again, not going to go too much into it because it's a sequel. I also have Lear Wife, which is a King Lear retelling, which again, I was really hoping to get off my TBR, but really enjoy the first 3 chapters that I read, so I've kept it. This is also an arc that I was sent from Olivia because it's a Canon Gate proof. And then the graphic novel is Lore Olympus Volume 2 because I really enjoy Core's storyline in this, and I feel like it is a great empowerment story. Hello, baby. So let's have a look. I'll share that poll. What video games would you recommend, Zach, for themes of empowerment?
Ooh. Well, to be honest, my first thought is Okami, but I'm not sure if that's just because I'm taking empowerment at face value, i.e., you start off. I mean, you could say the same for pretty much any like JRPG or even RPG. You start off with very little and you just get more powerful as you go through. I don't know if am I taking it too literally?
I think it depends. So for me, empowerment, usually when it comes to books, I think of like female empowerment or kind of the opposite of that oppression type thing. So a minority kind of beating, which is kind of what I've done with Empress Crowned in Red. At the end of the day, this is a feminist BIPOC high fantasy. So it's kind of got both of those. With Lear Wife, instead of it being him passing his wealth to his daughters, it goes to his wife. And so she literally gains power. Kind of like, yeah, either or really. You can be as literal with it as suits you, really.
Oh, now I feel like I need to play more games.
I feel like Okami's a good shout, though.
Okami, I mean, yeah. Okami, you start off, you come back from the dead. You got as a god, you have very little power, and you get more power as you go through, and you kill demons and stuff, and restore the beauty of nature. It's very good. I like it a lot.
I think I've got 2 recommendations for games.
Go on.
Shadow of the Colossus.
For what?
Oh, excuse me.
Well, you're this tiny person taking down giant, like, massive Titan type creatures. I think that would you come up thinking you're pretty fucking powerful after doing that.
Yeah, I just feel bad because they did nothing to me.
Second is Detroit Become Human, because you're literally playing as androids, becoming, literally taking power back from themselves, because basically they are told that they are just robots. They are there for a function, and then a bunch of shit happens to these three robots, and they decide, no, we are we are a people too, and depending on what path you choose, you can literally start a revolution. So I definitely say that one is pretty.
You know what? That's a really good shout. I got like halfway through Detroit. I loved it. I just kind of stopped. So at some point I need to actually go back to that. I mean, I stopped playing it like 5 years ago, but
It's okay.
I'll go
I have it.
Okay, so Hannah also didn't love Priory, so that makes me feel better. I've heard very mixed things about Witches Steeped in Gold. I can't remember what you thought of it. I thought it was fine. I gave it 3.5. I'm hoping the sequel is better because I feel like it took a really long time to warm up to where it needed to be. It's not my favorite BIPOC high fantasy, but I still want to read more of them. So
I think I would have liked Witches Steeped in Gold more if it had been marketed correctly, because the marketing and the blurb even makes it sound like a different kind of story than what's actually given, and that was my problem with it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Like, the writing was good, like the story was interesting, but it wasn't what I bought into. So immediately it kind of was marred by that.
That's fair. I'm going to need to pick soon because my cat is about to knock over a lamp. Laura Olympus, yeah, same. I think I'm going to read a retelling that centers a female character. That's basically what Lear Wife is. So yeah, that's a cool one. Also play more games. Baldur's Gate, cat cameo, yeah. They're getting antsy because they're hungry, but I can't feed Horatio because he's got a surgery tomorrow. He's getting castrated, so he's not allowed to eat anymore. Horizon Zero Dawn is an interesting one. Yeah, play long games.
See, I'm the exact opposite. I almost exclusively stick to really short games these days, unless it's one I've played in the past.
That's fair. Yeah, it can ruin the perfectly good book. It's so frustrating when that happens. I get really irritated when a book is marketed to something that it's not. So there was Luster by Raven Leilani? Yeah. Which was marketed as a comedy. It isn't. It is not. It's satire, but it's really dark, really insidious. And there's like loads of stuff about it being really funny. Queenie was the same, where it was like this comedy. It's like, it's not. It's a contemporary, and it's sad, and it's poignant, and it's beautiful, but it's not. It's not a comedy. That's fair. Have you played Stray? It's the cat one. Zach doesn't like cats.
Okay, why would you? These people don't need to know.
That's the game you want me to play, right?
Huh?
You want me to play that one, right?
I do. It's just like Hollow Knight or In the Blind Forest and all the games I've been talking about, like those ones. It's on my list. It's one, and I've had my eye on it since it came out because it looks really chilled and just easygoing. But unfortunately, no, I have not played it.
Well, there you go. Chris is a dog person and he loves Stray. Doesn't like, and we have 4 of them. Yeah, but Tony doesn't get a choice. Tony just lives with you. Tony just lives there. Thank you, everybody, for finally putting a graphic novel on my TBR. So, Laura Olympus for my empowerment prompt. Next on my list is a book that haunts me. I would like to find a ghostly book if I can, but I think it's going to have to be a book that I keep seeing everywhere or that I've had for a really long time that I need to get to. What's yours, Lizzie?
I had Urban Legend.
What have you picked for Urban Legend?
I have picked A Pocket Full of Crows by Joanne Harris. I don't necessarily know if this is technically based on urban legend, but it is based on like old folklore and stuff, which is basically the roots of urban legend, so I'm counting it. And I've had this one for ages. I also have one that's about mermaids, and I have another one which I can't remember what it's called. So any of the 3 like in this series, and I love this cover so much. But I don't really know much, and literally the back says, "Love made her a prisoner, revenge will set her free. A modern fairy tale of love, loss, and revenge. This is a perfect modern classic." That's literally all it says on the back. So, yeah. Also, that is
got a very fun map.
It's not a map.
That's not a map. That's a face.
I'm guessing it's a rendition of like the Green Man, which is a nature pagan god type thing, but it could also be something else because he has horns and there is crows and stuff. So it could be Odin. Actually, now I'm looking at it, I'm pretty I'm pretty convinced that's Odin because he's blind and
he's only got one eye.
And there's crows, so I'm pretty sure that's Odin. So I'm stupid and I should really maybe look at things before I say shit. But this has also got illustrations and everything in it, so like a random page. I don't know what that's got to do with it, but
there's
a
another
nice, easy one for me. So yeah, Blue Salt Road. And then I've just seen your comment. I think it's the mermaid one, but I have no idea where I put that one, and this was the first one I saw. And I feel like I do have the other ones, but I have no idea where they are. So I've lost those, which is fantastic. I haven't lost them. They'll be in my room somewhere. But I just wanted a short, easy read because all the other ones on my TBR are huge. So fun times. How's it going, Hannah? Have you found anything?
I'm just looking for my third one. And I think I'm going to pick a reread.
Interesting.
So, okay. Again, I've gone for 3 very different ones. A couple of them are classic Gothic, one is not. So the reread is Uncle Montague's Tales of Terror, which was one of the books that I read for the first ever Gothtober. So 4 years ago. Insanity. But this is the book that I read when Gavin was on sprints with me because I was like, I want a spooky middle grade. And I hadn't read this in ages. Didn't really remember it. But haunts me because spooky middle grades are top tier level of spook. So that's one. I then have The Year of the Witching, which was gifted to me by Ashley from Frolic Through Fiction. Again, about 4 years ago. And I keep meaning to get to it. And I just don't. And I feel really bad that I haven't got to this yet because it was gifted to me so long ago. Like so long ago. So another one that haunts me. And then I've been meaning to reread this series to see if it's worth keeping. And that is the Iron Duke series. Which is
that's a reaction from Lizzie.
It's a steampunk mystery romance. He's shirtless basically on the cover. Like that's a vibe, isn't it?
It's a look. I'll give him that. Man knows what he's got.
He is the Iron Duke. He is part man, part robot, I think. He's got like parts of him are made of iron. And she's like the protagonist. She's like the detective. So I remember really enjoying this.
It's like Skullduggery Pleasant if one of them was like not dead and in fact half robot.
Yeah, maybe. I imagine the dynamic is going to be very different.
Oh.
No, not like Skullduggery Pleasant. Let's not mar that series. That's
yeah, so different.
Sorry, I've just seen Pixie's comment. Pixie's comment, he's really got them bitties out there.
He does. Okay, let's scroll up to where I was. Oh god, there's loads. Okay, Baldur's Gate. Okay, cool. There you go. I really enjoy Joanne Harris's writing, so I need to check those out. I spend my life on Animal Crossing, Stardew and Kirby. Valid. Mermaids.
Apparently, I was incorrect. Blue Salt Road is about Selkies. I couldn't remember, and I was sure it was mermaids, but I have been corrected.
Cozy games and horror games. We like that dichotomy. Adding to the TBR immediately. I wonder if you're still adding it, even though it's not mermaids. For a book that haunts you, I'm reading Taltos because I have to fight Anne Rice. I can't stand Anne Rice. I can't stand Anne Rice's style of writing. Anne Rice is another one where I'm like, I understand that you created a subgenre all around vampire romance. You can't pay me to read her anymore. Like, I read an interview with a vampire and hated it. I'm currently reading Spiritfarer and Palia, and I'm planning on continuing Zelda. That's fair. Or playing Spiritfarer. Palia is fun. I'm just waiting for Silk Song, the Hollow Knight prequel. Nice.
I'm looking at Game Pass. The Hollow Knight is there. I'm half tempted to just download it and give it a go. Now, why not now?
I mean, I would wait until we're sprinting just in case it messes up with the internet. But
Yeah, that's what I was planning on doing that.
Yeah. I'm still at the start, so nothing more yet. Wait, we've been friends for 4 years. I know. How bizarre is that? I've seen you birth so many children since then.
You make it sound so sinister.
I know. Well, with Ali, it could be. Ali's nearly died giving birth a couple of times. So, no adult horror has gotten me. Yeah, agreed. Spooky middle grades, and genuinely, this one is terrifying.
Yeah, that one is pretty spooky,
and not in like an R.L. Stein kind of way where it tries to be scary. Like this is genuinely insidious. It's really good. That's good to know. That is good to know. Loved Year of the Witching. Oh no, Iron Duke. Yeah, people. I thought people might recognize it. Oof, he really has his videos out there. Yeah, the cover's great. I feel like you'd really enjoy it, Ali. You can ignore my comments. I'm reading Our Share of the Night with Ellen. That haunts me. I mean, it's huge. So, and I'm genuinely so sorry that I sent you a book that doesn't have chapters. It just has parts. I'm so sorry, both of you. I didn't realize that when I looked into it. Yeah, really excited and spooky. Interesting. I'm going to try Interview the Vampire this month. Well, good luck to you. I hate Anne Rice's writing. I don't know. There's something about the hate read. I can't hate read stuff. I can't. It just makes me really angry. Lizzie, Hannah, and I read The Lights of Prague, which is a vampire book. And I think you kind of enjoyed it. Hannah kind of enjoyed it. I hated it. And nothing made me feel worse than the fact that we were buddy reading it. And Lizzie and Hannah would be like, oh, I really liked this thing. Or this was really clever. Or I didn't like that, but like I see why. And me just coming in and being like, it's shit. I hate it. The little spawn. You've seen. No, I haven't seen you. I've witnessed the before, during, and after. Yes, agreed. Very problematic. It's gonna be a great time. I hate. Yeah, me too. Me too. Right, let's see what you've chosen. Year of the Witching, Iron Duke, and Uncle Montague came out exactly the same. Interesting. But Year of the Witching. Finally on the TBR. Well, I say finally. I've TBR'd it before, but it's been a while. Can we talk about how Alexis Henderson just looks like an absolute goth monarch there? Like, absolute hero. So, but another witchy one. We love to see it. Okay, next. Anything but prose. This is going to be tricky because I don't think I've got many novels in verse left. I don't know what spooky plays I have, and I don't really want to read poetry. So that is going to be slightly tricky. What was yours? What was next for you, Lizzie?
Asian mythology.
Oh, okay. That was the one that I was like, you got the birds thing. I was like, that's gonna be that. What have you gone for?
I have gone for The Dragon's Promise.
Okay.
By Elizabeth Lim. Because I read, what was the first one even called? Six Crimson Cranes, which is based off Asian mythology, and I really, 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 really enjoyed the myth aspect of this series. I didn't like absolutely fall in love with the first book, but I enjoyed it enough, and I am interested to see where this series is going because I've got book 3 as well. I think. Do I have book 3? Am I talking out my ass? There might not be a book 3.
So I'm just going to turn my camera off because I need to bend over and no one needs to see that. So I'm still here. I'm trying to be decent.
I could be lying. There might not be a third book, but I feel like I either have this one and another Elizabeth Lim book that isn't actually related, and I feel like that's probably more likely. I don't know. I am just chatting shit now, but this is on it. So, you know, I hope it's going to be good.
I think it looks very magical.
Yeah, it is. It's very, very magical. And very pretty. And it's very light pink, which, you know.
It's the best kind of pink.
I don't know. I'm really hoping I don't have to say much more because it is a sequel and I don't want to spoil the first one if people haven't read it yet.
No, you're fine. I'm back.
Woo!
So, for anything but prose, I have Death Note Volume 1, which will be a reread, but I bought the black editions, so I need to read those. This is about a young guy who finds this notebook where when he writes someone's name in it, they die. And it's about the police trying to find him and stuff like that. But I have all 6 of the black editions that I bought in Newcastle earlier this year, and I need to read them because they are the reason that I was so behind Olivia at the start of the year. So that's that one. Manga is not prose. I've got a play. I've got Macbeth. Not Macbeth. Othello. I couldn't decide between the two, and I just grabbed Othello, which is obviously a Shakespeare play. And who knows? Maybe the next play that I write will be an Othello retelling. Who knows? And then I've got the only novel in verse that I have left, which is The Silver Chain. I know nothing about it other than the fact that Olivia loved it. So that's not gothic. Arguably, these two have gothic tropes. So, but none of them are prose. So that was it. Let's put the poll up, and then I will respond to what people have said. It'd be great if I could spell correctly the first time I write something, so I'm not writing not prog, for example. You guys hungry yet, by the way?
Yes.
I could eat.
My stomach keeps on rumbling like every now and again.
But we're nearly done, so I will put some dinner on in a sec.
Yeah, well, I need to jump in the shower, so I stinky.
Right, the poll is up. Let's have a look. Where do we get to? Yeah, me too. Michelle, I really enjoyed Anne Rice, but it's more of a nostalgia. That's fair. Hello and welcome. Your first Gothtober. Hopefully not your last. Lights of Prague is a book club pick for me this week. I really hope I hope you enjoy it more than I did. I hope you enjoyed it more than I did. I thought it was funny. Everyone's welcoming Ellie. Alexis Henderson was the first author to ever follow me on social media, and I still haven't read her books. Well, keep that on the DL, Ali. Jeez. I had anything but prose and read Rogue, Vogels, a poetry collection about birds and drawings of said birds. Nice. Totally unrelated, but if anyone has Mermaid Rex, please let me know. They're my all-time fave. That's fair. Would graphic novels count? Yes. Yes, they would. I was tempted to add more graphic novels to the list, but I thought I would go for something different. Ticked it off already. I love that for you. I assume you've read Macbeth. It could work. Yeah, I was tempted, but I've read Macbeth relatively recently, whereas Othello I haven't read since school. I'm reading A Bright Heart for Asian mythology. Nice. I got Asian mythology too. I'm not sure what I'll be reading, but I'll probably be stretching it since I have several manga. That counts. Lynn enjoyed The Dragon's Promise.
Good.
I want to give Elizabeth Lim another try. I DNF. Yeah, Ali and I were going to do this. We had this whole vlog idea, right? Where we would both read the first 3 chapters and Ali would like throw to me some thoughts. Then we'd read the next 3 chapters and I would throw some thoughts to Ali and kind of like do a buddy read, but like to and fro the vlog. And then we'd have the clips together so that it was basically the 2 vlogs were like half and half of each other's content. And then we hated the book. So we like DNF'd it after like 2 chapters. Yeah. I think it was really nice. But the most Dutch thing ever. It came from my grandma's house. That's fair. The cover is beautiful. Zach, what is your favorite shade of pink?
I think for pink it would be like a nice light pastel pink. Not so much like a vivid highlighter pink. Like a nice easygoing shade.
It's not a Barbie pink?
I like Barbie pink, but not. I think I prefer something just a little more mellow. A mellow pink.
A mellow pink, that's fair.
A mellow pink.
No, because I fucking love cinnamon buns and now I'm hungry. Unacceptable. Mira Grant Stan. I wasn't a fan of the Silver Chain. It did little with little and gave little. Interesting. Okay. I've been lurking in the chat playing WoW. Had to drop in a vote for one of my fave series. I read this earlier in the bind up. Nice. Same here. I still want to do that vlog with you. Yeah, we need a decent book. We do need a decent book. Okay, let's see what you guys have chosen. You've gone for 71% of Death Note. There we go. That was nice and easy. Nice and easy. Okay, the next one for me is multiple POV. What are you reading, Lizzie?
I've got smut or spice, and I have two choices.
Okay.
One of them is full-on porn.
Nice.
The other one is, I believe, is spicy, and I don't know. So I'm going to show you the full-on porn one first because it was the one that came to mind.
Yeah.
And it is a reread, and it is the only because I love it because it is.
Is this the dragon one?
Yes, of course it is. It's about a dragon.
Amazing.
And yeah, this follows. I think yes, it's Talaith and Brayek the Mighty.
Brayek
the Mighty. And I love it. It says on the front here, "Come on, dragon, light my fire," which is hilarious. But it's about shape-shifting dragons, and I had a very interesting conversation with one of my friends whether this counts as bestiality, because technically he is a dragon who shapeshifts into a human. And I was like, well, they don't have sex when he's a dragon.
This just sounds like fan fiction for something.
It is. It absolutely reads like that too. It is pure smart. It does have a lot of plot within it though, and it's a whole series. This is book 2 in a whole series that are all connected with a family of these dragons. And Talaith is really a really mouthy, funny character, and I love her a lot. And I really enjoyed this book. I read this first when I was 13. I was on a bus with friends, and we had a great time with it. So there's that one. Or I did buy Fourth Wing, which is also about dragons, but I don't think it's smart with dragons.
You don't think?
I don't know much about this other than like everyone's been talking about it, and I'm pretty sure there is spiciness in it. Or like there's one scene where there's spicy stuff going on. I don't really know, but I saw this and I was like, oh yeah, this could be an option. So either Fourth Wing, which is about dragons, or about a dragon which is full on porn with dragons. That's the choices.
Okay, I've put the poll up for you. I'm just picking my two other.
Like my TBR has a theme of either dragons or witches.
Dragons or witches. I mean, as like choices go, it's strong.
Yeah. I'm kind of terrified about which one's going to be. I don't think this counts as bestiality. It does not.
Lizzie, let's not get into the minutiae of whether someone who can shapeshift counts as bestiality or not. I really feel like that's a whole, there is a whole rabbit hole there.
No, I know. I've had the conversations multiple times.
Okay. How many times have you talked about this?
Quite a few times. This is a book I talk about a lot because it's great.
All right. Okay.
You probably enjoy it, you know?
Do you think so?
Probably.
You don't seem convinced, Zach.
I prefer my dragon people unfuckable, but that's just a personal.
Right. I love that all these covers are just naked torsos of men.
That's the best kind of torso.
For sure. But this is 360 pages of just smart.
What could be better?
Exactly. I don't think anything could be better.
You're so funny.
What I do find funny is talking to people and trying to get them to pronounce the names because they're all Welsh names and they all have weird accents. And I'm just lucky enough that my dad is Welsh, so I pick up the pronunciations of these names. But I'm like, an American picking this up would be so fucked because they just pick it up and would not be able to pronounce some of these names at all. So I also get joy with that too. But this is a reread. This is not.
Dragons or witches, the two genders.
Exactly.
Where do we get to? I really hate that every time I unselect stuff, it just jumps to the bottom.
You
So I'm like,
can favorite it. You can like there is a way of pinning that like the comment you
Yeah,
go to.
it won't let me. I know I'm supposed to be able to star them, so it'll go straight to there. It hasn't. Yay! I hope you love it. I got smutty and I picked Days of Blood and Starlight, and the Bachelor again. That's fair. It's romance. It counts. I got something and I chose. I didn't know which prompt I got. That's fair. It is, Lizzie.
It's not.
A spice among humans. To be fair, Fourth Wing does include the dragons in the spice, which was a choice. Interesting.
That is a choice.
It has spice beans, but a lot of plot too.
Look, I like my porn balance with plot, and this is what this gave me.
That was an interesting scene to read. I'm more inclined to pick it up now, because I didn't know. No one has spoken about that on TikTok.
Oh, I've seen that's on TikTok. That's how I knew it had spice in it at all.
Abby's comment about cinnamon buns has made me warm up some apple pick. Oh my god, now I'm really hungry. We're nearly done. But it's some kind of hole. Unacceptable. We reached the whole jokes part of the evening. You cowards. So it's currently at 50-50. So I don't know what was ahead when Abby said that, but it's now at 50-50.
Why? Why would you guys do this to me?
But there are more people present than are voting. So we need at least one more vote. One more vote, and I'll end the poll. I got Forest Creature, which is the same book before that.
Oh, I think
someone was ahead, cowards.
I think someone else voted.
There we go. End. It's about a dragon.
Oh my god. It's okay. I might have to do a vlog of rereading this.
I feel like you need to. And I feel like Abby's going to be all for that. So.
Okay, that's fine. I was kind of disappointed because but that's okay. It can go back on my shelf. It's a purchase I made this year. This I've literally had for years, and I have read it multiple times, so I know I'll enjoy this.
That's fair. I'm just typing mine up so I can go through them and then immediately share it. Okay, so for multiple POV, I've got Godslayers, which is the second in the Makuta duology. This is basically sapphic enemies to lovers. They are either side of a very powerful army. One is a rebel and one basically runs these mech suits. And it's very like Pacific Rim meets Hunger Games style thing. Not going to go too much more into it because, like I said, it would be spoilers. But Volume 2, I know that it will have at least two perspectives because the first book had both main characters had a perspective. But I think there might actually be a third perspective in this one with the antagonist. I am guessing this has multiple perspectives because the Our Violent Delights did. And I know there's two main characters in this. And I know there's the second book I've got, which, because that's titled after someone else, I think might have different perspectives, if not in this one, split across the two books. So I'm allowing it. This is not a sequel, but a spin-off of These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. And then I've got The Appeal, which actually doesn't have any specific perspective. The idea is that someone has got a case study they're going through and looking at an appeal to see whether someone committed this crime. Because it's made up of like emails and chat chains and documents and things like that, there are lots of different things within the mixed media that I'm again counting as multiple POV. That's probably the most gothic. In fact, it's a murder mystery, but I'm intrigued by the other two as well. So let's see what you guys have to say on those ones. For multiple POV, I'm reading Ace of Spades. I'd be interested to know what you think of this. I didn't love Ace of Spades, but I can see why everyone else did. I had like one gripe about it that kind of ruins the whole thing for me, but I do understand why people really liked it. So intriguing. I suppose I should just go and pick, in the meantime, what my next 3 books are going to be. What's your last prompt, Lizzie? Because mine is Humans Are Delicious.
Okay, so I've got Fairy Tale Retelling as my last prompt. Jesus Christ, brain. And I have chosen another book that has been on my TBR for an embarrassingly long time. But Hannah is one of Hannah's waypoint recs to me, and that is Wendy Darling by AC Weiss. And this is, I think it's like it's a dark retelling of Peter Pan. And I know that Peter Pan isn't like a classic fairy tale, but like it's close enough in my opinion. It's a children's story, and I really, really want to read this. I really like dark Peter Pan retellings. I think they're super interesting because they don't shy away from the dark aspects that are hidden within the original story. So I'm super excited to read this one. I just haven't prioritized it, and I think now is the time. It's a Titan Books one, and Titan Books is one of my favorite publishers for dark and spooky books. They just seem to always have really great like stories. So they've never let me no, that's not true. They have let me down 1 or 2 times, but not that many times. So I think this is going to be very, very good. And it's Peter Pan, and I really enjoy Peter Pan. And so yeah,
that's fair. I'm really annoyed because I totally forgot I bought Read, Scream, Repeat, which again is a collection of short stories and therefore would be multiple POV. And I'm really annoyed because tell me that's not a super stunning sprayed edge.
That is very pretty.
So I'm annoyed because I've got 3 for Humans Are Delicious, but this could easily be a 4th. So I might add this as a 4th. But let's see what people are saying about multiple POV. I really want to hear your thoughts on the appeal because it sounds so interesting. Yeah, and also that the 3rd book came out recently. I need to get to it soon anyway. Yeah, we did consider doing this, but Zach only plays like 4 games. So
I play more than 4 games. To be honest, I would use it as an opportunity to do a bit more research and play a much wider variety of stuff. So I am going to download Hollow Knight in a bit, and I'm going to give it a go.
Nice.
But yeah, we'll
see if it takes off any of the prompts then. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I have multiple POV and I'm waiting to see which of my library holds come through. That's fair. I'm reading Dumfries and Galloway Folk Tales for fairy tale retelling. I have fairy tale retelling as well. I'm reading Mermaids Never Drown, which is a short story anthology. Nice. I got fairy tale retelling and I chose Lost in the Neverwoods. Since it's the oldest vlog in my still watch later, that's my one, right? that's my vlog, right? Which is Peter Pan, but using the same excuses. Let's see. I picked the Grimrose Girls. Good choice. Good choice. One of the ones I recommended. It's so good. And reading Daughter of Trolls you mentioned earlier, and also for disability rep because we like to double up. There's quite a few in this stack already that I know I will be able to double up on, so I'm not too worried if I don't.
I am kind of sad that I didn't get Humans Are Delicious because I think I'd have read Bones and all because that's another one I like just staring at it. I'm like that would have been perfect.
I was really glad you didn't pick Kagune because that's where I knew the prompt was, and I was like, that's what I wanted. I knew I didn't want to read the Batwings one. I knew that was fairy tale retelling, and I couldn't remember what the other one was. I feel like the other one might have been Monster Romance. And I was like, no, I want Humans Are Delicious. I was really, really pleased. So anyway, to end the poll there, The Appeal got 79%. So I'm reading The Appeal. Okay, right. I am going to add it. I'm going to add it to the list. So for Humans Are Delicious, I've got Bite Risk by S.J. Wills. I was going to say Willis then, but it's not. It's Wills, which is a werewolf story. And whilst werewolves aren't necessarily known for eating people, they do bite people. So I'm including it.
Same difference.
Yeah, like one is devouring it and one's just kind of chomping it.
It's just how far you go.
Exactly. I've also got Read, Scream, Repeat, which has a werewolf on the side, so I imagine we'll have some kind of werewolf or monsters. It's also got like zombies on the front as well, so I feel like this is going to be a combo of all the others that I've got. So Read, Scream, Repeat, which I again bought recently, is not technically on my TBR yet, so I will need to read a TBR vet to get it on my TBR. I've then got Wranglestone, which I have TBR'd twice before. I keep meaning to read it and haven't. This is a zombie novel. So that's the next one. Let me just write that up. And then the 4th option is a vampire story, Go Hunt Me. Although I keep referring to this as Go Hunt Yourself. I really like that it has the proper Bram Stoker castle there as well. That makes me happy. But yeah, vampire one. No idea if it's going to be any good. I don't know if I'm in the mood for vampires, but it's there as an option. So we've got werewolves, vampires, zombies, and then a mixture of all three for that. And those are almost exclusively middle grades or YA. So love that for me. Love that for me. Let's see what people are saying. Good Skulls. Yeah, it's yours, but I want to watch it. That's valid. I would like to hunt myself because it means I get to find out who I am. Go hunt yourself, yeah. I need someone to name the hunt. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need to change my werewolf title to Go Hunt Yourself. Anyway, share the poll. See what you guys decide. And then we're going to read. Well, Lizzie's going to shower. Zach's going to game. I'm going to start dinner and bring Zach a drink because apparently that's what I do now.
In the record, I did. You offered.
There's no need to record it. It's recorded. It's visible to peruse. People will know that. Also, congrats to everyone for getting to this point because we've been chatting for 2 hours and not read yet.
I'm also going to take a photo of my TBR for the Instagram challenge.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Noted. That'd be really cool if I get a couple of bunny reads in this month. It's a very interesting TBR. Let's see where we're at. 12 votes, and we've got one that's ahead of others by quite a margin. Let's see.
Oh, not that much of a margin.
Oh, hey, Amy. Hope you're well. That doesn't surprise me that you enjoyed Boat Risk. What was it you said? Oh, it was Good Girls Guide to Murder we were chatting about the other day because you really enjoyed that. I loved that. I've now just got to persuade Lizzie to read it. That's my next plan. Yeah. Oh, I'm so hungry. What I should have done was at some point turn the oven on to do dinner so that we could eat it quickly, and I didn't do that because I'm a silly banana.
What-oh.
Okay, we're at 15 votes. I think that's probably the most we're going to get. So I will end it there. Thank you for going for the one that I clearly wanted to read above all others because I'd gone out of my way to find it. Read,
They're
Scream,
very
Repeat.
nice to you, aren't they?
They are. They're so nice to me. So there we go. Full TBR. An interesting mix. I'm going to go take a photo, upload that to the Insta. Make sure that you've done that as well, because obviously that's the daily challenge, like photo challenge is for the TBR. I'm also going to put back all of the books that I've got out that I didn't TBR. And I'm going to do dinner. So let me set up some reading sprints for everybody. Get your first book ready. What's everyone reading first? What do you think you'll read first, Lizzie? I know you're having a shower, but what do you think you're going to read first?
I have no idea. I haven't really thought that far, to be honest. I don't know whether I should tick off a really easy one or download this and start this, or I really don't know. What do you think I should start with?
I would say go with something that you think you could finish or a gentle read, because it's already 9 o'clock. So if you are going to be reading, it's going to be till quite late. I'm
probably going to go with this done.
I think a gentle one to start with. So Abby is starting with Our Share of the Night. Sorry, I skipped ahead a little bit. I'm going to crack open Embers for Monster. The Me's and the Elder Lady Must Not Be Crossed. Nice. I'm going to do some boring things like prepping my bag for study. That's fair. Starting The Historian first. Read the least spooky book first. I'm going to finish Pride, True Story Behind the Movie before I continue Paradise Lost. Nice. I like there's a real mix there. There's a real mixture. So, okay, let me share my screen. Just making sure there's nothing embarrassing there first. There we go. I've gone for the Jane Eyre ones because I thought it'd be nice. I haven't actually updated the one for this year yet, but I'm going to very soon. Let's unmute that. And I will see everybody in 45 seconds.
Zach,
Well.
you're going to mute.
Oh, yeah.
Mute.
Yep. I'm done. Hang on.
Hi.
Hi, as if I haven't seen you 2 seconds ago.
I know. So Eleanor disappeared because they have work, which is fair. You're going to start We Lived in the Castle. How did that go? Let me know what pages you got up to. I really enjoyed all of that drama. I was here for it, but I was out sorting dinner. Read 80 pages, heading for dinner. I hope you enjoyed the sprints. Yeah, to me, that's the kind of definition of it. It doesn't necessarily have to be Latinx read, but if there's a Latinx character that has a romance, I would count it. I did dinner. I took my Insta photo. I updated my spreadsheet. And yeah, they both need another minute. Sorry, Zach's finishing the hot chocolates that I was making. No, you can put them both in at the same time. Just be careful because the mugs are hot.
Okay, Mum.
He just called me Mum. He just said thank you, Mum, which hurts me. I forgot that the timer randomly ends. It doesn't buzz at you. It's just me. Hello and welcome. I'm almost halfway through the bees. Nice. How are you finding it? You enjoying it? I walked my dogs and read a couple of pages of Our Wives Under the Sea. Let me know what you think. 64 pages, not the most. We've got American football on. I read slow when I have to. That's fair. I've got my legging curls in my hair and I'm ready to read. Nice. I did not read. I just installed some new shader mods for Minecraft. Nice. 60 pages read, but it's non-fiction, so I've been underlining stuff. That's fair. Now I want to play Minecraft. I'm loving it so far. Good. You didn't read either, Lizzie, did you? You had a shower.
No. I went and jumped in the shower. I took my Instagram photo, reviving a dead Instagram page. Love to do it. But I do intend to start at least one book today. And that would either be this one, but this is becoming more and more likely because it's nearly 10 o'clock and I have work tomorrow morning. So this is physically reading may not be a thing today, but that's okay. That's fine. I am intending to start A Day of Fallen Night because I downloaded that on Audible. So I might, before I go to bed, like listen for like maybe half an hour. Just to kind of like start something today. But like while playing on my phone until I get tired and then I'll turn it off. That's probably my plan.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm going to read Wild and Sea 2. Loving it so far. So far, I'm enjoying it, which is a nice surprise because I'd heard mostly mediocre things. Fair. I read a Wild and Sea recently and I liked it. See, I unhauled it. I think I unhauled it to you, didn't I, Lizzie? Because like Olivia didn't like it, and Olivia and I have very similar reading tastes.
You haven't hauled it to me because I saw the pretty sprayed edge and went, yes.
Minecraft together. Thank you very much.
Very
yeah, that's fine. I'm not going to touch it anytime soon. I love Zach just brought me my hot chocolate with an oven mitt on.
I also have a donut.
Thanks.
So if I start shoving my face with donut, that's because I have one right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really annoyed that I ate all my cookies earlier, to be honest, because I really felt it's why I went for the hot chocolates because I want something sweet. We're tempted to do another sprint, but if we do, it's not going to be for very long because we're all really tired. So Zach's going to play games for a little bit, but for the most part, I think it's going to be an early night for all of us. So Zach and Lizzie worked 2 shifts yesterday, and I think you, Lizzie, worked 2 shifts the day before as well, didn't you? So it's been a long fucking weekend. I put my stuff in my bag for tomorrow, played a bit of a mobile game, and find updating. My core pile. Nice. I do think what I might do, rather than pick up something new, because I'm currently reading quite a few things, is I might try and finish the Worst Witch book that I'm reading, so that I'm not carrying too much over into next month. Welcome back, Zach.
Oh, thank you.
I'm the same. I am exactly the same. Olivia and I are near identical when it comes to taste, except every once in a while we're in total opposites on a very random book. The last one was any Margaret Rogerson, basically. Olivia really enjoys. I do not. But other than that, we're very, very similar in reading taste. So you downloaded your game, I assume, Zach?
I did. Hang on, my PC went to sleep. Let me just wake it up. Wake up.
Wake me up. Wake me up.
Wake me up inside.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Just like the real thing.
Just call me Evanescence. What's her name? Amy something?
Amy Lee.
Amy Lee, that's the one. Thank you very much. Yes, Hollow Knight has just installed.
Nice.
It's been a long time coming, and funnily enough, it was released on my 18th birthday.
How fun.
Mm.
I need to tab my pages to read for Dr. Moreau and Whispering Dark, but I think I've got a plan for both. Nice. Yeah, actually, that's a really good point. That's a really good point. Do you want to text me the plan for Whispering Dark, Georgia? Let me know. I also need to work out when this week I'm going to read my pages of Daughter Dr. Moreau. I probably will try and get them done sooner rather than later, like earlier in the week. And then we can start chatting about it on Discord, which is really exciting. But are you thinking 20 minutes or 30 minutes for the next sprint?
I don't mind.
I mean, I think we may as well do 30.
Yeah.
Because I'll put my headphones on and get into Hollow Knight and tell you what I think of the first 30 minutes of the game.
How exciting. So I've just set the timer, so it's at 29:58 because it for some reason didn't want to do exactly 30. Happy birthday, 6.5. I mean, to be fair, it was Zach's birthday on Monday. Just gone.
It was, yeah. I am now officially an old man.
Sweet. Okay, cool. In which case, I'm not going to hang about because I'd like to get some reading done before I go to bed. But I want to finish the Worst Witch that I'm currently reading so I can start something else and not feel bad about the fact that I'm still currently reading 5 books on Goodreads. What was that look for, Lizzie?
Speaking of Goodreads, did I tell you I've now made a Letterboxd account?
No.
I made it exclusively to leave a mediocre review of Taxi Driver.
The pettiness, I love it.
Well, actually, I say it wasn't mediocre. I gave it 3.5 stars.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. Coming in with the hard hits of "You're all old." We are. Zach's the baby here, though. Zach,
I don't feel it, but Abby is right. No, Abby's not right. October's not cool. September's cool.
You would say that.
I'm
wrong.
Okay, right. No, hear me out. September, and take this year as a prime example. It's definitely not summer. It's much cooler than summer, but it's not yet cold, which means it is perfect t-shirt and flannel weather.
Zach.
No. Cold
Zach.
is t-shirt and flannel weather. October is t-shirt and flannel weather.
Zach.
I will not be taking questions, comments, or criticisms.
Zach, you're wrong because September's back to school and no one wants to do that. So,
to be fair, Zach doesn't like spooky stuff. He doesn't like Halloween or gothic shit. So,
listen, when was the last time you went to school in September or at all?
Excuse me, that's not the point.
Technically, for me, it was more recent, but that's because I was a teacher. So, I am still baby, very young, super hip and cool.
That's just like me, except it's not because I'm old.
Yeah, September was hot. I am a crone, so I just spotted that one. You are not.
Okay, so it looks like I am
stressed dealing with confused.
I am alone in liking September, which, you know what?
The problem you've got here, Zach, is that you are currently on a live stream set as the 1st of October, Gothtober. It's a gothic spooky month where we don't really it's not even about Halloween. It's just about general spooky vibes. And you come on here and say that September was the better month. You're just wrong.
No,
and not only that, you're outnumbered 10 to 1.
Hang on. September wasn't necessarily the better month this year. It is just a better month in general.
No, that's what I'm saying, is you're wrong. You're outnumbered.
Well, I don't need support. I'll fight my own battles.
I'm sure you will. Right, I will see you guys in half an hour. I'm going to enjoy my hot chocolate and finish Worst Witch.
Have fun.
See you in a bit.
Boo.
Ah.
How's it going?
Not too bad. I managed about 80 pages. I've still got 12 to go, so nearly finished it. And then I can start some actual Gothtober reads.
Hey,
How was your game?
It's very unique. The main the main title screen theme is really good. I liked it.
Yeah.
It just kind of throws you into a world, into like a weird gothic fantasy type world thing. No explanation of what you're supposed to be doing. You jump down a well and then you just kind of have to find your way around. I bought a map off a guy, which doesn't help me much. But yeah, I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing yet. But it's simplistic.
Fair. How about you, Lizzie?
I've listened to. I've got it on 2 times speed, so 50 minutes, and that is equated to 17 pages.
Nice.
The audiobook comes with like the PDF version of this because of all like the maps and stuff in it, but I have the physical read, so I just was reading along and having a look at like the maps because there's more than one map. There's like 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't even finished the prologue yet, so
That's fair. Let's see how everyone else did. 80 pages by Abby. Congrats. I'll finish one book tonight, which is good motivation. Just need to reach out to Flame is. That sucks. Hate that for you. I read half a chapter and then got distracted by melon. Is melon a pet? Or do you mean like melon the fruit? Do you eat?
Melons are very distracting.
Melons are distracting. 23 pages of Priory. Yeah, just explore. You'll figure out along the way. Fair. I also wrote a review for a book and brush your teeth. Nice. Close to that, true. Royal Assassin. Okay, fair. I finished Pride and it was good. LGSM, Lesbian Gay Support Group for Minus Dragon Night. Nice. Oh, that's the film. Yeah. Yeah, I literally eating melon. That makes sense. Yeah. I'd run it again. That's fair. So the next, I don't know if Olivia or Tish are doing live streams during the week for reading sprints. I know there's going to be some kind of reading sprint throughout the week. The next event for Gothtober is going to be on Saturday, which is going to be on Olivia's channel. We are doing a craft evening. I have yet to get the stuff together that I need to make the crafts, but I think the idea is that we're doing something creature feature themed for that. No idea how that's going to go, but should be interesting. And then we will do more actual reading sprints next week. Now, let me know, are you happy for it to be at 7 and then we like read until 10, or would you like them a little bit earlier? Because I've got a rehearsal, or all 3 of us have a rehearsal until 5. So my thought is I don't really want it to be much earlier than that if I can help it, but also I appreciate that to get more reading done, we do need to have them a little bit earlier. And unfortunately, because of the rehearsals, I don't get to do the all-day sprints that I did last year. So let me know. I'm also pretty sure that I've got reading sprints planned for people on Discord as well over the next couple of weeks. So if you're not on my Discord, do that, because I'll be doing more sprints to help people read in general. I don't know reading like is. I mean, I've been wanting to get to Royal Assassin for a while now. Yeah, maybe it's a sign. But yeah, but I think we're going to leave it there because we've been streaming for 3.5 hours. I'm exhausted. These guys have got work in the morning. Sucks to be them. And I've got to take my cat to the vet. He is crying something chronic because he is so hungry. And I feel awful.
You're basically starving him.
I know, I'm the worst. I mean, the vet told me to. The vet told me I had to, but I still feel bad about it. So, oh well. Right. Anything you guys want to plug before you disappear?
Buy gin. Buy Skywave gin.
Buy Skywave gin. Not just any gin. Skywave gin.
Check out my Instagram because I've reposted on it, and it will be hopefully live the entirety of October. But you know, that's wishful thinking.
I mean, even if it just survives October and then hibernates again until next year, that's what Emma does.
Yeah. I also should make some more content because, you know, I've got smart to make vlogs about.
You've got smut to
You've
make.
got smut to make.
No, I've got vlogs
That's
to
what
make about
You
smut.
said
It's
you
what I
got
meant.
smut to make.
I'm tired.
Incredible.
My brain is not braining.
That's fair. I'm glad you guys have fun. And yeah, I think I'm going to stick with 7. That's fair. That's fair. Right. Well, I'm going to leave it there. It's been really nice seeing you all. Thank you so much for helping me put my TBR together. Obviously, go follow these people where they've got things to be followed. And other than that, have a nice evening and I'll see you next week. Bye.